All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of CTC Live. Today, we are here to talk about financial literacy in general and financial aid and veteran services. With me are the most knowledgeable team that we have here at CTC. Okay, maybe not the most, but right up there. Right up there. We have Stacy Pritt from Financial Aid and Jennifer Stembridge from Veteran Services. And they're going to talk a little bit about some of those things that maybe as the semester has started, people may have some questions and how to do things or how things work. And so hopefully we'll get to answer any questions that you may have. Please go ahead and let us know and type in the chat if you have any questions. For any of the presenters, so that way we can try to address them as quickly as possible. So, guys, welcome.
Hi.
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 So, who's going to start talking about financial aid and VA and all of that literacy,
Oh, financial aid always
financial aid
comes
stuff?
first.
I
So,
know, but I always go first. I feel like you should go first this time. Maybe we'll switch it up a little bit.
okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So, like Maricela said, my name is Jen. I work in veteran services. We are here to assist veterans and their dependents in whatever they need as far as their VA education goes. So, we work with those students that are using chapter 35, 31, 33, and there's a couple of other ones, 1606. But we are here to support those students in any way that they need for touch a little bit on the VEC. That is something that if you have not already filled it out for this term, make sure that you fill it out as soon as possible. What that is it's the Veteran Enrollment Certificate, and that is the crucial step in us reporting to the VA that you're going to utilize those benefits. So, in order for us to know that we need to report to them, that's what you're going to need to fill out. Another thing that our department also does is Hazelwood. So, if your home of record or place of entry is Texas, or your sponsor's home of record or place of entry is Texas, you may qualify for Hazelwood, and that could potentially cover up to 150 credit hours of education. Then let's see what else. We've also got up here in our department, we've got James and Lance. They are VA counselors, and they work with Chapter 31 students, and those are veterans, and sometimes they work with dependents as well, depending on the circumstances. But they are a great resource for, they can help find different providers or something if you need a dentist or something like that. I know that sounds super weird from from a VA standpoint, but they can help you with that. They can help you get onto the Chapter 31. If you really aren't sure what you qualify for, as far as if it's 33, 31, whatever, we recommend meeting with them because they may be able to get you benefits that you don't know that you qualify for. So that's just a few of the things that we offer up here. And we will also be available at the Welcome Bash on Thursday, and you'll be able to come find us. Stacy and I should be sitting next to each other. We almost always are. So come find us. If you're not going to make it out to the Welcome Back Bash, you can find us in Building 215 on the second level. And yeah, so I will be here the entire time that we're doing this live so that I can answer any questions that come up. But my spiel is short and sweet. So, Stacy, your turn.
My turn. Oh, yay. So, as Mariceli said, I'm Stacy Pred. I'm the Associate Director here in Financial Aid. Our department handles the federal application for free student aid. That's the FAFSA. So that is the Pell Grant and the federal student loans. We also handle the Texas Education Opportunity Grant, which is a state grant, and local grants, institutional. And in order for you to qualify for anything, the first thing you have to do is fill out that FAFSA on the studentaid.gov website. Once you do, it comes to us and we can process it. I'm here the whole time for us to answer questions directly correlating to that. We also have a work study program, which is amazing. Our coordinator, Shoni Morrow, does an amazing job. This year, our funding got cut, so we are limited to how many we are hiring. So currently, we're at a hiring freeze for that. However, if you're interested in becoming a work study, I strongly suggest filling out an application so that in case a spot opens up, you might be able to get in. And that's based off of how much you have available for your unmet need. And what unmet need means is Department of Education determines how much you need to go to college, and based on that amount, how much you have left may qualify you for work study. Something wrong, Mariceli? You look like you're panicked.
I think I have some people trying to come in and they're not. Don't worry about me. You
Okay. I saw panic on the face. I was like, what did I do? You're like, oh my God. It's okay. So with the work study program, you get a paycheck in your bank account and you only work 19 and a half hours. We work around your school schedule, guaranteed. If you need to take off for the week of finals, you're allowed to. If you can only work 2 hours one day because you need to study for an exam, okay. We're very, very flexible because we know that the thing that is most important is that education that you're getting. And we want to make sure that you not only have money in your pocket, but also be able to do your classwork. I think that's it for me.
Well, and to kind of piggyback on that part, we also accept work studies in the Veteran Services Department. It's just a little bit different. Everywhere else on campus, you would go through Shoni Morrow to apply for the VA to have a work study position up here. You have to come up here and fill out an application with us so that we can process it. It has to process through the VA. It does a little bit different. And so if you're interested in doing work study with us, feel free to stop by up here. I will also have applications with me on Thursday so that we can fill them out there if need be. Most everything we do is in eTrieve. That is one thing that we don't do in eTrieve because that has to go through the VA specifically. So that one has to be done on paper.
Yeah, I think almost everybody does is through eTrieve, and you've got the one that's got to be paper.
Yeah. As much as I push people over to eTrieve and I'm like, oh no, all of our papers are done except for this one thing.
Just this one thing
has to be done in person. Do we have any questions coming in yet?
Nope. But let's talk about. We've had some questions in general. I know. I feel like there's been a few things going on that a lot of times people don't realize. Especially when they're starting. Can you talk a little bit? Because even this morning, I had somebody who was like, "Well, I'm trying to go to the bookstore and I need to buy my book, and I'm supposed to use financial aid, and I don't know how to do that." So, can you discuss that a little bit?
Sure. So typically the way the bookstore works is we disperse funds over to the business office. Business office takes whatever it needs for tuition and fees. Anything left over you can utilize at the bookstore. You can do that by having your student ID card or using your student ID number if you're ordering through the bookstore online. And it's pretty quick and easy setup. You fill out, I think it's like a general account information that you fill out for the online purchase, and then you would just go and pick it up.
Yes.
Did not know that. I was trying to get my son because those lines Folks, if
Yes,
you haven't
you
gone to
can
the
still.
bookstore the first week of school, let
Mhm.
me tell you, try and do it as soon as you can, because we waited, even with the shorter line, I waited in the line for over an hour with my son getting books.
Oh yeah.
Also, if you do not have your student ID card, oh my goodness, card, you can get it over in building 209.
Mhm.
And you'll need that to do a couple of different things on campus. If you want to utilize the library, you'll need that ID card, obviously, to use your financial aid benefits at the bookstore. Also, to get your parking pass, which is another thing that you need. You'll need your student ID card, and the parking passes can be picked up in the police station, which is right behind Building 209. And a little bit more on the bookstore. As far as veteran services goes, if you are Chapter 31, which means you have a VA counselor, VRNE, Voc Rehab, it's been called a bunch of different things. You'll get a um, voucher emailed to you. If you're not a local student, the voucher gets emailed to the bookstore, and then the bookstore will send your books once it's time for them, like when we get within a 10-day period of that. As for the other chapters, you'll get a book stipend from the VA, and you can utilize that towards those purchases. Um, but most of the time it doesn't come until after you start classes. So um, very highly recommend using the financial aid if you're able. And that's another thing a lot of people don't know, and we're trying to promote this more so that people understand, is that just because you're using one of your VA benefits, that does not mean you might not qualify for financial aid. So I always encourage people, no matter if they have, Chapter 33 covering at 100%, you could still qualify for financial aid that's going to pay for some of those, more expensive books or something along those lines. So,
Incidentals. There's always
yes.
incidentals.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
your notebooks, your pens, your paper,
Mm-hmm.
things you don't really
Mm-hmm.
think about when you're going back to school.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions that you've had come up, Mariceli?
No, I have people trying to get in, which is interesting.
Did you lock
Which
them out?
I don't know where they are. They say they're there. They sent me a screenshot. I want you guys to participate. I am so sorry. All right, maybe. All right, let's plan D. We're gonna get her rolling, but in the meantime, how important is it to make sure that when you're in financial aid and VA services, you take classes that are in your degree plan?
Oh, extremely, extremely important. We will not pay for a class that is not on your degree program. And the way Pell Grant works is it disperses per credit hour that you're enrolled. So last year it went from, they used to do it as less than half time, 3/4 time, full time. So less than half time was anything that was under 6 credit hours. 6 credit hours was half time. 3/4 time was 9 credit hours, and full time is 12 credit hours. After last year, they decided that they were going to allow us to disperse funds per credit hour. So even if you're only in 1 credit hour, we're still going to disperse funds. However, if the class is not on your degree program, we're not going to send any funds. I do believe it's the same way for the VA. Am I correct?
Yes. Sorry, underwater basket weaving is not a covered class. That probably is in the continuing ed, which for the most part is not covered by VA or financial aid, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Continuing education is not covered by financial aid.
The one that is kind of a one-off for VA is that we will cover, veteran benefits will cover the ATDS, which is the truck driving school. But it is very important. And we have people who will switch degree plans a lot. So you always make sure that the degree plan that is in your Eagle Self-Service is the one that you're, going to classes for, because if you were on a general study and then somehow ended up on a welding certificate or something, and you want to take a general study class, but you're still active on that welding certificate, it won't be covered because it's not on that degree plan. So it's very important to make sure that when you're wanting to utilize your benefits, that you're on that degree plan. It's very easy to contact academic advising or the Kate Center to switch your degree plan to what it needs to be. But it's crucial that the classes that you're taking be fit into that degree plan. Another thing that I see a lot that we run into is that somebody's added a class and they're wanting to take this class, and it could have fit the degree plan, but they've already taken classes that fit that section of the degree plan in the past, and so it's not going to fit the degree plan anymore. So it's very important that when you're planning your classes, using the Eagle Self-Service and looking down underneath there to see if you've completed a section, or if there's still requirements for that section, using that, or contacting an academic advisor, either in academic advising or the Kate Center academic advising, to have them go through it with you. So I get a lot of frustration, I'm sure, from people who are upset because, well, it says it's on my degree plan. It was on your degree plan, but you took a different class at some point that filled that spot. So unfortunately, it's not going to fit there anymore. So
I want to send a special shout out to Desiree. She's been trying to log in and having issues. She's telling me she's watching us through Twitch. So thank you,
good.
Desiree, for hanging in there with us. Thank you so much. We're super happy that you're here. I know it's taken a minute, but thank you for watching and participating. And you can go ahead and type if you have any questions. I am monitoring the chat, so if
Wonderful.
something comes up, I can definitely answer it. And let us know if there's something specific that you want us to talk about, because honestly, you missed a little bit. We will tell you again because you're that important to us. So thank you, Desiree, for hanging in there with us.
Now, there are 3 things I would suggest strongly to any student that is here at CTC to get access to. The first one is your Eagle Self-Service. The second one would be your eTrieve. And the third one is going to be your Eagle Mail. So any information that we have that we feel is important, such as additional grants, scholarships you might be eligible for, work study opportunities, documentation that we may need, your email is where we're going to send it, your Eagle email, because that's your primary when you are enrolled as a CTC student, is your CTC email. If you don't have access to it, we strongly recommend that you get access to it as soon as possible. Another thing that you really need access to is your Eagle Self-Service. Things you're going to find on your Eagle Self-Service: being able to register for classes, being able to check your account balance through the student finance section, being able to see your financial aid award and information about your financial aid award. This is also where you would add your checking account or savings account for you to receive any refunds that might be due to you. This is also how you can opt into text messages to get alerts for different things through us, as well as VA or student services, academics, etc. The third thing is that eTrieve. eTrieve is where you're going to have to submit documentation. If you want to submit an application for work study for financial aid, if you want to apply for state grants, if we're requiring you to submit a verification form, that's where you're going to be. So those 3 things are very, very important for you to gain access to. If you don't have access to all 3, we suggest that you get access to them soon.
Yeah.
And I know that Shoni, who does the work studies, she is, it's very important that you do go into your Eagle Self-Service and check the little box that says you allow text messaging, because she communicates via text messaging.
Yes.
eTrieve is also where you're going to do your VEC for veteran services. It's also where, if you do get a position as a work study, Ms. Shoney will have you go in there and fill out a whole heap of paperwork that you'll need to do. Same process as we do as an employee for CTC, but that's all done through eTrieve. So the other thing is that those are the three things. They're gonna have different passwords. So if you need to set up, if you are not in your Eagle Mail already, reach out to, I don't know, does advising have the, I know
It's
that I have like
IT.
the,
IT,
okay, IT
IT is
does.
the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
So IT can help you guys with the getting your passwords and all of that set up. I know that eTrieve, the instructions on the eTrieve page for visiting your first time say to put your email address in. I don't know if it's bogged down right now from all the people trying to access it, but they're having a lot of issues getting those emails through. So I highly, highly recommend calling IT to do that. And let's see if I can put the phone number up. I can put the phone number in the chat, but nobody can see that right now, correct?
No.
Well, I'll send it over in the chat, then you can put it in where other people can see it. I wish I could just like flash it at the bottom of my screen and be all
Well,
awesome.
how about this? Yeah, I can totally do that over here. Actually, where I'm at. So no worries. Go ahead. So this is for VA?
That's for IT.
That's IT.
IT,
That's
sorry.
for
because-
eForms and Eagle Mail.
Yep, I know that people are having issues trying to access eTrieve the first time, and I'm having to have them call IT just about every time, every person I've helped the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to put it out here. I'll see what I can do.
So something else that we started this year too, anyone who filled out a 25-26 FAFSA is required to turn in their high school completion. If you graduated in the state of Texas, that can be just your high school diploma. If you graduated outside the state of Texas, we're going to require those transcripts from the high school. This is being used as a method to verify identity to avoid fraudulent students. It's meant to help with identity theft. The second thing that we've instituted is BioSig identity verification.
Right.
It is a new thing for all of us, so bear with us as we try to muddle through the process with everybody. It is a requirement in order for you to get any kind of refund for your financial aid. If it's not done, we will be denying funds and pulling back funds, so this is a necessity that you do. If you fail 3 times, your current options are to come in person and submit your ID. And it has to be a valid form of identification. And then if you are outside of the state of Texas or outside of the area, you can, there'll be an email that goes out in 1 to 2 business days giving you instructions on how to proceed. I know that's given a lot of people issues too, by the way.
Okay, so I went ahead and put in the screen or underneath Stacy. The number to IT is 254-501-3103. So we went ahead and put it in the visuals there for a little bit.
Nice. Look at us.
We try.
Let me fall out of my seat here. Sorry.
No
So
problem.
I was going to say also, I know that I had talked a little bit about us having Mr. Morgan and Mr. Davis up here from the VA. And so some of the other things that they can offer is they have a lot of resources because they are with the VA directly, and so they can offer more guidance on things outside of education, which is kind of what I was getting at earlier, is that they can go kind of above and beyond education. And I at one point I had their whole thing over here, but I rearranged things. So they can do how to apply for and maximize your VA education benefits should you qualify for more than one benefit, because that sometimes you'll go in there to apply and it will say, do you want to use this benefit? If you use this benefit, you're denying this benefit. And so they can help people decide what benefit's going to benefit them the most. Vocational exploration, employment assistance. So they also do resumes, translating the JST, which is the military transcripts, and training and referrals to state and other agencies for assistance, information on applying for other VA benefits, such as the disability compensation, life insurance, electing healthcare benefits, and home loan guarantee. Information and referrals for VA medical and mental health services, referrals to the local vet center for readjustment counseling services, referrals to on-campus community and VA resources to ensure academic success. So that's just kind of a little list of what they could do all together.
They really can do almost anything a VA. Like if they go to the VA, all the things that they help them, they can pretty much do almost everything, I would say.
And they've got a lot of community feels out there. I mean, they go to events on base all the time.
And typically, if they don't have the answer, they find the answer for you.
Yes, exactly.
They're really good about that.
And so generally, sometimes we'll have people come up here thinking that our department is the VA. Unfortunately, I can't tell you where your disability payment is for the month because I work for CTC, not the VA. So, but I can refer them to Mr. Morgan or Mr. Davis, who can give them the right person to call or whatever.
They can check on that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. They've got way more insight on that area than we do. So it's nice to have them on campus here. Not all colleges have the benefit of having vet success on campus. So we are very fortunate in that.
That's awesome. Okay. Trying to think. I don't see any questions right now, but I know sometimes, can you talk about loans? Because that's one of those things that, yes, it's an option for you, but we try to dissuade. Can you explain why?
So, of course, the term loan means that you have to pay it back or give it back eventually. That is what a loan means. I know when mom loans you $20, she ignored the fact that you owed her $20 because she's your mom. The federal government does not work that way. The federal government will come after their money. So we actually have 3 different kinds of loans. Well, 4 if you count Sally Mae. But we have, for our federal student loans, we have the subsidized and the unsubsidized. The subsidized, to break it down for you, the federal government pays your interest rate while you're attending school. Okay. Once you stop attending for 6 credit hours or more, you graduate or you're no longer actively in college, they're going to request that you start paying that money back. Okay. The unsubsidized loan starts accruing interest as soon as you get disbursed funds, whatever the interest rate is at that point in time through the federal government. And that basically means from day one, you start accruing more money on top of what you borrowed to pay back. And again, once you're no longer in 6 credit hours, no longer or graduated, or you're no longer attending college for at least 6 months, again, the federal government's going to tell you, you need to start paying this money back. We also have Parent Plus loans. Those are through the federal government as well. However, those are strictly for parents to apply for their children who are attending college here. Then we have the Sallie Mae loans. Sallie Mae only does currently our pilot program and our nursing programs. Aviation, that's what it is. I was trying to think of the name. It was on the tip of my tongue. So our aviation and our nursing programs, those are the only two that it covers currently. And it's only, we can only award up to the cost of attendance for both the Parent Plus loan and the Sallie Mae loan. But again, like I said, the loans have to be paid back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we try to avoid those.
Yeah, you really need to think it through, make sure that that's what you want to do, because the federal government always wants their money back.
Well, and if you're getting full Pell, for example, you're getting per semester, for the fall and the spring, you're getting $3,698 and $3,697. Okay. If you're paying in-state tuition on average for 12 credit hours, you have to pay $1,500. You're still got enough left over from that Pell Grant to pay for your books. You don't really need a loan unless you're needing it for things like housing, car payments, food, electricity, then the basics. If you're living with mom and dad are covering food, and your roof over your head and clothes on your back, all that fun stuff, all you're going to need is that Pell Grant to pay for your classes and your books. You do not need anything else.
Yep. So let's see.
Well, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that. One of the things that we always want to emphasize to our students is the importance of letting us know if you are no longer in a class. Same thing as how if you take out a loan with the government, they're going to want their money back. If you take money beyond what you're supposed to get from the VA, they take it back quick.
Oh yeah, they do.
The VA, for the financial aid, they give you, you get that little grace period. You don't get that with the VA. As soon as they realize that you've paid too much, they've paid you too much, they take it back. So if you withdraw from a class, or you're dropped for non-payment or non-participation or anything like that, let us know. While we do run reports routinely to try to show us these things, it doesn't always show us exactly, what's going on. So it is very important that you tell us that you've been dropped or withdrawn from a class so that we can uncertify you with the VA, because what happens is that, if we don't find it until you're almost, your classes would have ended, and they've been paying you for that whole time, you're either going to have a debt to the VA that you're not going to be able to continue to utilize benefit with them, or you're going to have a debt to the school and that they're not going to let you enroll in more courses if you have that debt to the school. So it's crucial, as important as filling out a VEC when you register for your classes. It is just as important that you let us know if you're not taking those classes that were on your VEC. Another thing on VECs is that anytime you add classes, we need a new VEC for that class. So let's say you started with 4 classes for the term, and then you decided halfway through the term that you wanted to add another class for that last 8 weeks. We need a VEC for that last 8 weeks, because when we certify for each class that you give us permission to certify. So it's very important that if you're adding classes, you submit a new VEC. If you're taking away classes, you submit an email to us letting us know that that's what's happened. Because like I said, VA giveth and VA taketh away real quick.
Yeah, they do.
We want to make sure that we're keeping you out of the doghouse with them by uncertifying you as quickly as you find out you're no longer in that course. So would say that it's very important that the week following classes, making sure you're still in all your classes, because generally the week after classes start, that's when you'll get dropped for non-participation. The census date kind of varies whether or not you're getting dropped for non-payment. So it will depend, but always keep an eye on your classes. If you notice that you've been dropped from something, or if you withdraw from something, let us know as soon as possible so that we can make sure that that's all ironed out on the VA side of things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. I don't have any other questions. Is there anything like really important? Okay, so I know it's kind of looking to the future, but do you think this is for Stacy. Sorry,
Okay.
Stacy.
Oh no. Okay,
you-
hit me with it.
Do you think the next like FAFSA cycle will be open in October?
Yes, we have been told and assured by Department of Education that October is when it will be out.
Okay, so can you explain that? Because I know that you and I understand, and even Jen understands, but not everybody else will.
So last year, was it last year? Year before
It
last?
was last year.
It was
I
last
think
year.
we were still in shock last year.
I know.
It
It
was
was 20.
the
It was
20
the 24, 25
24,
FAFSA
25. Yep.
got completely revamped, like entirely from top to bottom, completely revamped, and it threw a lot of people for a loop. Originally, it was supposed to be out in October, and then it was supposed to be out in November, and finally, it came in December, and it brought loads of extra issues. And so there was, snags, and there were glitches, and so this year, nothing is supposed to change on the FAFSA application, so that they can just regurgitate what they gave us the last time, and we should not have any issues. I'm knocking on wood right now to
I hear it.
I know, right? I'm like, so 25, 26, we haven't had any glitches as far as I'm aware of when it comes to submitting the application and going through the process. So with the 24, 25, I'm hoping that they worked out all of those, and the 25, 26 is proof that that has worked. The 26, 27 will be out in October. Also something to think about in the future, like Mariceli is saying, if you're planning on attending for 26, 27, the scholarship portal will open up December 1st and close March 28th for the following academic year, for the 26, 27 academic year. These scholarships go off of your FAFSA information. I repeat, scholarships go off of your FAFSA information. So what does this tell you? When that FAFSA comes available in October, the sooner you fill it out, the sooner we'll get it, the sooner we'll process it. We are a first come, first service department. If you don't turn in your FAFSA until March, and I've got 3,000 people that turned it in October, November, and December, you will not get processed until March. Turn it in as soon as it's available. I cannot stress this enough. So we can process you, so we can make sure that you have funds for the following academic year, so that we can have everything nice and smooth for you, so that you can apply for those scholarships, all of those things. Another thing that you need to think about with dropping or picking up classes, passing or failing classes. For financial aid purposes, in order for you to maintain satisfactory academic progress, you must maintain a 2.0 GPA. You must complete 67% of the classes that you attempt. What does this mean? If you attempt 12 credit hours and you only finish 6 of them, and by finishing them, I mean passing them and staying in the class until the end, you're at a 50% completion rate. And most likely your GPA is not at a 2.0. This puts you at risk for losing your financial aid. If you have 2 terms where this happens, you will be put on what's called financial aid suspension. And this is where you won't be able to be eligible for financial aid until you fix the issue. Another way that you can get off a financial aid suspension is to submit what's called a satisfactory academic progress appeal. If you had extenuating circumstances, and by extenuating circumstances, I mean circumstances that were beyond your control. You had a death in the family. You were hospitalized. Your child was hospitalized. Your car was wrecked. All of these things and a couple others, you were arrested, whatever the case may be. If I've actually had a couple of those.
It happens.
So you would submit a satisfactory academic progress appeal along with documentation that shows what was happening and when, specifically during the terms that you were in attendance here at CTC. If you turn in a SAP appeal and you've got documentation from 2025, but the classes you were attending were in 2019, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. I'm sorry. It's not. 2025 does not have anything to do with 2019. I'm not going to go, okay, I'm giving you funding back. That's not how it works. It needs to correlate with the time you were here at CTC in attendance. And if it's extenuating circumstances, we look at all of your record, everything that you've done as far as here at CTC and other institutions, and make a determination as to whether or not we can give you back funding at that point.
That's, again, to piggyback off of that, 2.0
I'm getting
is
tired
also...
of you piggybacking on me. You're like the monkey on my back over here, woman.
It's just that
That's
you
a
guys
fun
have very
monkey.
similar
We do.
circumstances. That's why you're here together.
That's why we tag team all the time. It's okay. It's okay.
So, also to qualify for VA benefits, you also have to maintain a 2.0 GPA. If you do dip below a 2.0, the requirement for the VA is that you do oh my goodness, probation agreement with your advisor. So you'll need to meet with one of the academic advisors and get on a probation agreement, basically just saying, yes, I understand that my GPA has gone below a 2.0. This is the plan. I'll check in with you again next term and see where we're at. So there is ways, but it's much easier for you if you work hard and stay focused and get that, at least that 2.0.
There you go, right there.
Yep.
And that also, staying focused and everything, that also reminds me that we've also got free tutors. So if you're having a hard time, take advantage of that.
Both
I mean,
online and in person. We have both.
Yeah, it is not too many, schools that offer free tutoring like that. And
in our writing lab, we have the writing lab that you can send any paper to them and they will read through it and send you notes and edits back to you. They're amazing. I love them. I still use them for my master's program. So just FYI. They're amazing.
We have some amazing resources here, and that's all the more reason for you to come out to the Welcome Bash on Thursday, which will be held outside between the library and Student Success, and
11 to 2.
11 to 2. And all the different departments will be out there letting you know what they offer you and what resources you have available. And it's an amazing opportunity to not only get to know different people from here on campus, but find out all the resources. There are so many, and we have people from the community that come with resources as well. So the
library has different clubs that you can join. They have I think it used to be the writing circle, the
Writers Guild,
and now they're calling themselves something else. It's like creative something or another, creative minds, I can't remember. Cindy told me about it. They changed their name because it's not just writing. It's a bunch of creative outlets for them. The library has some amazing outreach programs that are available and clubs that you can join. They do like a gaming club, I know, and then they have
chess.
They have the chess club. So there's a couple of different options that are out there to mingle and to meet some of your fellow students and get to know the campus.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to impart?
Just that next time we're going to have more focus on financial literacy
Literacy
and
overall.
yep, Maricela will get that posted as soon as we can discuss a date and time and come
Yeah.
with paper, pen, pencil to the next call because
We're gonna be
I
covering
promise you
loans
there's gonna be
and
a
credit
lot of stuff.
cards and
Yep,
all the fun
not
things. Even
just VA and financial aid specific. We're gonna give you the 411 on the money and the
it's all
way
about the
to
money.
the way to not be having, debt with the FAFSA
Yeah.
or
Yes.
VA. We'll get some things covered.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and energy and all the fun stuff we're doing. I really appreciate it. Um, we'll be doing more of this soon for everybody. Please join us in Discord and Twitch. You can also watch all of this live there. And you can interact. We'll still answer questions if you're in Discord or Twitch. We'll be seeing you soon. Hopefully, Thursday we have the Welcome Bash, and that's the next place we're going to. So see you soon.
Bye.